Hi guys.
Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about discipline. Just want to remind you, midweek as we're dealing with hump day, don't forget your discipline. Find your discipline. It is the fertilizer for whatever it is you're working on, whatever goals you're trying to achieve. You need your discipline. I've said before, I will say it again, ambition don't look good without discipline, right? And I am reminded, just looking at some of the things that are being reaped right now on my own farm, I'm reminded about the value of discipline as you're setting the goals and as you're approaching them each day with intention, with fixity of purpose, with clarity. You can want a lot of things, and you can want to the point that you sound like an ambulance. In Jamaica, would I say you wah, 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 like ambulance. You can want a lot of things. You can have the highest of intention and ambition for your life around your goals. But until you begin to work, moving from wah, wah, wah to work, you can't get the results that you're looking for. So if you're sitting down right now thinking about whether to do the thing that you planned that you were going to do on Sunday, or just sit down and don't do nothing, I'm asking you to find your discipline. Nothing changes without discipline. Rachel says ambition goes to waste without discipline, and that is a fact. Friday is going to come, the week is going to end, and you're going to say to yourself, boy, this was a good week, I achieved A, B, and C. Or you're going to say to yourself, boy, I really failed to do these things this week to get to the goal that I wanted. You'll find that if you do what you're supposed to do, even if you don't get the results, the week feels like a win because you showed up with discipline and you did your job. You can't do anybody else's job, but you can do yours. Don't opt out of the work. Don't stay in the space of want, of ambition, and think that you got it made because you've clarified a vision. Vision is the beginning, but you get to the end, which we all want to get to, right? You get to the end when you start to work. And if you're not working with consistency and discipline, it's almost like you're not work at all. Because show up Monday, I want to see you again till 3 months is not work. Talk about the goal and put some work in it for 1 week, and in the other 51 weeks, we not see you. That's not work and that's not discipline. It's almost as if you didn't start. Do not forget your discipline. Ambition no look good single. So have your ambition and walk up and down a road, it's not attractive, it's not sexy. Ambition is the most attractive when it is married to some discipline. You ever hear some people say, who you want you till it finds out says somebody else want you, right? Has that ever been your case where somebody that you're really interested in, or maybe somebody that you used to be in a relationship with no want you, but as soon as you match up with somebody else, them want you, so ambition and discipline work. You can't see no result on the goal when an ambition alone and walk up and down single. But the minute you're married to some discipline, it's like the world that wait for you to come and work. All the opportunities show up. All the moments for partnership show up. Everything seems to be aligned. You find a new rhythm. You find new people who you've been wanting to work with for so long, and suddenly they are ready. It's not that they were asleep before and happen to wake up today. Is that your ambition is now married to discipline, and so you're able to trigger certain laws in the universe around consistency, around reaping what you sow, around attraction, and that is making all the difference for you. Ambition, look good single. The next time you talk about a goal that you have, I beg you, put on some discipline on it. Clothe it in some discipline. I want this, and to get it, I will do that as of, and you put your date, your start date. Get to work. Do not forget your discipline. To abandon the discipline is to abandon the ambition. To abandon your discipline is to abandon the ambition. No matter how Wednesday feel right now, no matter how middle of the week feel like it's overwhelming, let us be honest. How much work have you put into the ambitions and the goals that you say you have? Let us be honest. Because we're walking around in circles, operating like headless chickens, but we're not putting in the work required, the specific and disciplined work required to turn the ambition that we have into an outcome, into an accomplishment. So discipline is required. Clarity of thought, a method, a strategy for which, with which you're going to achieve the goal, and the discipline to actually show up and work the plan. You have to work the plan. You know the saying, you eat by the sweat of your brow. And I like to add to that to say, you eat by the sweat of your brow and not the plan to start sweating. So many of us will write a plan, and boy, it took a lot to write the plan, right? I'm not undermining the effort that goes into creating a strategy. It takes work to have a plan. But the realer work is the discipline to work the plan. You eat by the sweat of your brow and not the plan to start sweating. So get to work. Whatever the ambition is, don't leave it out there naked. Don't leave the ambition out there careless. Don't leave the ambition out there single. It needs to be protected. It needs to be clothed. It needs to be married to some discipline so that you can start seeing the results that you want. We're approaching the final quarter of 2022. I pray that nobody feels as if they've had a complete failure of a year. But in case you do, the only thing that's going to change things for you is the clarity on what you're trying to achieve, the strategy that is going to help you to achieve that, and then you showing up and doing your work, the discipline, so that the ambition can get some action and get to accomplishment. Another part of discipline that I wanted to mention before I jump off is the discipline to do without. Until you're prepared, not just the discipline to do, that is important. That's what we spoke about a while ago, the discipline to do. But married to, right, accompanying along with the discipline to do is the discipline to do without. You need the discipline to do without. There are some things that you will have to do without in order to accomplish this goal that you need. I'll give you an example, right? It showed up for me this week and I was like, whoa, that was not just discipline, Krystal. That was the discipline to do without. Last night I came in, my last assignment wrapped at 8 p.m. And so I got in about 8:30, 8:35. And I had not had any dinner. And I said to myself, I'm going to drive, go back out on the road. I'm going to go in a one drive-through, go buy some fast food, right? Because I can't bother with the process of cooking right now. I can't deal with that now. And at that hour, anything that you're going to get off the road is going to be something from a fast food drive-through. And as I was thinking about taking the keys and going back into the vehicle and driving through the gate to go and sit in a drive-through to order something that is deep fried, right? And not nutritious, but it will fill up my belly. I said, I'm going to do without it. I'm going to do without it. And I chose to have something light. And I went to bed. Woke up this morning and I felt proud of myself, right? Because in the choice, the choosing to do without a particular thing, I woke up with more energy. I woke up without the guilt trip of knowing that I had eaten something that really makes no sense because it is not aligned to these goals and ambitions that I have. And when I started my workout this morning, I also felt more confident that this workout is going to mean something because I'm backing it up with the right kind of dietary restrictions and principles. I'm almost going at the drive-through. But I chose the discipline to do without. It happened again this morning, right? I'm recommitting, and each day it feels like a fresh commitment to having fruits for breakfast. This morning, made I think about eat some cooked food from off the road, which again would not have been nutritious. Because when you do your morning routine and everybody in the house eat except you, so they are belly full going to school. And me, I remember saying if the only thing we have is a cup of coffee through the door, and then by the time the adrenaline from all of that wears off, I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. Let me just swing by here to get some breakfast because I deserve it. I said no. Discipline to do without this. It is easy to get this right now. It is convenient to get this right now. But I go back home and I go make my fruit plate. So I had my banana and my melon and my orange. And it's 5 minutes to 12. And I would have honored the commitment to have only fruits before noon. So I've chosen again. It feels like in rapid succession, right? The discipline to do without what was easy and convenient. So I could do the right thing, right? Show up with my discipline to do the right thing that is aligned to the goals. Another bit of discipline is around me waking up early because I can sleep. I could definitely sleep until the hardest stop where I have to get up and get my daughter ready for school. But I choose to wake up 2 hours, an hour and a half earlier so I can start my day as planned, which includes exercise, the discipline to do without more sleep. Right? When I wake up in the mornings, when my alarm goes off and I choose to get up, that is me saying no to something that is easier for me to take, which is a little more sleep, a little 45 minutes and 1 more hour. The discipline to do without that next 30 minutes of sleep. Me, I have that discipline there before I can show up and do the other discipline, which is to actually work out. So, more than, I shouldn't say more than because I don't think one is greater than the other, but in conjunction with the discipline to do, you have to also be willing to do without. That is another component of discipline. Until you learn to say no to yourself, to say no to the whims and the fancies, to say no to the convenience of modern lifestyle, you're going to feel far separated and removed from these ambitions that you have. And it's going to feel harder and harder. Looking at the distance you're trying to go and where you are after 3 weeks, after 3 months, after 3 years, you have to ask yourself, am I choosing discipline? Am I choosing the discipline to do what is the plan? Can we work out the plan? What is correct and what is sensible? Am I choosing the discipline to do without, or every little thing I want, I put my money behind it, so every time I think about my savings and my emergency fund that I need to build, I can't find the money in there because some feel like I need to buy something. My Amazon cart have to clear. My Shane cart have to clear. My, what the other something them name? My Runway cart have to clear. Right? Every time I have a desire to do something, to spend some money, I just spend it. So the discipline to do without is required, especially when you're thinking about your resources and your finances, because that is a very limited resource. No matter how much IT you have, it is limited. It is not an unending stream. So you have to choose, what am I going to say yes to? And conversely, what I end up saying no to? The discipline to do without. So for this week, one of the things I'm challenging myself for next week rather, one of the things I'm challenging myself to do is have a series of let's go. Are you ready to hear it? No spend days, no matter what. So everything has to be paid for at the end of this week, including filling up the gas tank, because not even gas me now buy next week. Next week, I'm not taking nothing out of my pocket. If it not pay for from this week, it have to wait until the end of the month, because this third week of September named no spend week. Because since August, been a spend, right? And I know come month end, spend, off to go on, because that's when bills are due again. So the third week of September, and I'm going to maintain this for the rest of the year, so heading into the final quarter as well, the third week of each month is going to become a no spend week. What am I say? If it don't pay for already, it cannot pay for again. It's going to have to pay for after the end of next week, because I'm moving into a no spend week. The discipline to do without. So not even the snack, whether it's a fruit snack or some kind of packaged snack at the stoplight, nah, buy it. It's a no spend week. It's a no spend week. It never budget for me. I drive out the house, never budget for the banana at the stoplight. You have to buy, you have to come into this house and pay for by the end of this week. Because come next week, no spending, not going in. So that is part of my own fiscal discipline as well, because I have to put a stop on myself. If I allow myself to follow the whims and the fancies and the prompts from my environment, the pocket just open and money just drop out tight. So, right? No. Anne says she's going to start and join me with a no spend week. In fact, you know what I will do? I'll put out a reminder on my social media page for the third week of each month to remind you that I'm in my no spend week, guys. If you're joining me, let me know. And I'm going to log as well how many moments I was invited to spend the money and said no. And it's interesting to always track the ways that you're saying no to an invitation to use your money. I'm going to write it down. You know, I was driving and I got a desire and an impetus to do this, and I said no, and I turned around and I went to do this instead. And I'm going to write it down, so I'm even more lucid around where some of those temptations come from, to ease my little money out of my pocket, out of my purse, off of my card. Not happening. Third week of the month, no spend week. So anybody who's joining me for that, I'd love to know. I'll post this video on my page, and you can comment and let me know if you're joining. You can send me a DM and let me know if you're joining, and I will share in my stories. You can tag me too if there's any moment where you have like a temptation to spend next week and you said no to it, like take a picture and post in your stories and tag me. I'll be doing much of the same across next week, because I have to develop, I have to sharpen, I have to reinforce the discipline to do without. Because until I learn to do without, a couple of things are going to be working against me. One, I cannot develop the discipline to do, right? Because to say yes to a positive action and a positive enriching habit, it requires saying no to one that is a negative habit, or that sucks the time, the energy, the focus, the resources that you'd want to put on the new habit. So I lose the opportunity to build a positive habit, to develop a new and nourishing habit every time I don't say no to something. So the discipline to do without is a prerequisite almost for me to be able to do whatever the new discipline is that I'm developing. So I rob myself the opportunity to create a new discipline by refusing to do without. And, you know, in a culture that tells you that you can have everything sometimes, you will think that having the cake and eating it is a win. So I can work out and I can still have an unhealthy meal the day before, moments before the workout, moments after the workout. But if I do that, the eating before and the eating after cancels out the actual discipline. So I don't see any reward from the disciplined action. And then I start to cuss and say, let me put on the action here because it now makes sense, it now work for me. When really I have coached the discipline between indiscipline. You understand? I coach the discipline and I try build between indiscipline. So I can't win. I set up myself to lose. So the discipline to do without is a prerequisite to actually build positive disciplines in our lives. The second thing I'm learning, I've learned before, and I built it in as a part of my annual life assessment. The more I am willing to do without, it's the more space I have for what I want, for what I am pursuing, for what I would like to add to my life. And then in the doing without, I'm also able to serve others in a space of giving. So if I choose to do without a suit, some clothing that is very lightly worn, I'm could have 3 other things for wear it go do in the next week or the next month or maybe next year I can find something I can wear. No, I'm choosing to do without this thing that I have not worn for 3 or 6 months, and I'm going to donate it. I'm going to give it away. I'm going to choose to do without that, and that creates space in my wardrobe, for example, for something else that I might see and want, or maybe just space that is not replaced with another thing. So I'm able to give, to serve through the donation of the thing that I'm choosing to do without, while creating space in my life for emptiness, space, right, where nothing comes because we don't need all of these clothes anyways, or space there in case I would like to add something to my wardrobe. So quarterly, there's a declutter process that I go through. End of September is going to give me another marker for that, and I do it for Zia as well. So we look for causes that we can donate her gently worn items to. Same for myself. And then what I would not wear, I'm not giving to anybody. Like, you have to see me and dash it away and take it out of my hand, forget it. Me not carry go give nobody. Right? So we declutter with the giving, and also by disposing of the things that we have not been using and continue to take up space because we did by the time we don't want to move it. So choosing to do without also serves me on a spiritual level. The decluttering, the releasing, the letting go, and allowing for the space to be clear and without clutter, or allowing for space to be created for more of the thing that I want. So those are the 2 reasons why I think it's so important to choose the discipline to do without, because it allows you to coach the positive discipline that you're trying to create safely into your life. I use the example, wanting to build a discipline like working out weekly, daily, but you're coaching that discipline between eating 2 silly meals before the workout and after the workout. So your discipline is coached between indiscipline, and it means you're going to crumble and fail, and then vex with the new discipline and tell yourself, say, it don't work, you're going to take it out, and you end up with just eating silly meals, right? Until you have chosen the discipline to do without, which means opting to do without this careless meal, opting to do without this other careless meal, and replacing with a more nourishing meal before your workout, after your workout. This discipline of working out can't strive. So it's important for you to choose the discipline to do without, so that the discipline you want to do has a chance of taking root and thriving in your life. And 2, on a spiritual level, the opting into doing without, I think creates a lot of spiritual leverage for you to use in the future around the ability to forgive, to release, to let go, and to just have space and being okay with not having another thing in your space. So I see Trudy and Donette laughing about careless meal, right? But Jamaican Miami Spice says, I'm a trainer. She is right. You know it, right? When your clients tell me, I've worked out like 6 times in one day and I'm not seeing anything after 3 months. Well, when you're not exercising, what are you putting in your mouth, right? What is the indiscipline that is sandwiching your discipline and causing you to fail, or to not see the results at the pace that you are ready to see them? So going into the no spend week next week, the 3rd week of each month for me is going to be a no spend week, and I will share with you my progress and how it goes. Thank you for joining me for this impromptu midday live session. I hope it has been helpful. I hope it has been clarifying. And if you're going to join me on that no spend day journey, Just tag me up in the things then when it's actually happening, and you can look out for some updates on my page as well on where the temptation is emerging from and where I have to choose the discipline to do without, so I can stay aligned to my goals and hit those targets I'm trying to hit. We're moving into the final quarter of 2022. You can do this. Whatever has not been done yet, you can do this. Work out the strategy. If you need a space to write in your strategy, get yourself a planner. If you're not new to my community, then you know we have a Success Farmers Guide where we allow you to purchase that planner and work that system to build up your focus and to stay consistent, to lay out the plan and to check in with yourself every day and every week. But you have to give yourself a chance to strive. And the discipline is what is going to change it for you. No matter what you want, no matter how hard you want it, the ambition does not look good naked. The ambition does not look good single. It needs to be clothed. It needs to be married off by some discipline. So the ambition can become action, can become accomplishment. You can do this. Don't make your head stand up in your way. Don't make your bad habits them stand up in your way. You can do this. If there's anything you think I can do to support you in terms of coaching, I do one-on-one coaching. Of course, you can click the link in my bio and select anything that seems aligned with what you need around one-on-one executive coaching, or to get a copy of the planner so you have a tool that you can use to help support the planning and the actual discipline required to show up every single day. So, looking forward to these no-spend weeks. And I don't know if it's going to actually save money. It must save money, man. So I also need to log like how much money I don't end up spending. Yeah, I want to pay attention to that and see how the discipline to do without works in my favor. Thank you. Go within deeper to find out where the lack of discipline may really be coming from. That's from Ture Maria M.A. I'm sorry, it's hard sometimes to figure out where one word stops. So please forgive me if I butchered that name. Tracy was asking, the no spend week is going to be the third week of each month. So I'm choosing the third week of each month to make a no spend week. Everything that I need to do has 3 weeks to get done, to be paid for, to be billed. Week 3 of a month, no spending. So I'll send some prompts and reminders next week in my stories probably, so you're aware of it. But thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you have a great hump day / Wednesday and a powerful rest of week. I hope you have overcome the shift in gears for back to school. For me, that has been the traffic. I forgot that people actually have cars and can be on the road. I was shocked. 8 o'clock, traffic back up on a road that is usually empty all day because now the kids are back in school. Shooked me up. So I hope you guys have overcome that jolt and you're trying to find a rhythm, if you have not found it yet, to return to life in this way. Lots of love and blessings, guys. Take care, and remember, you can use the link in my bio to see any of the products that I have around personal development, self-management, and coaching, which includes the Success Farmers Guide, which is our planner, and the one-on-one executive coaching program that I have. If for any reason you're not seeing what you're looking for, of course, send me a message in DM and I'll give you whatever links or answers to questions that you might have. Blessings. Have a great day.